we have a little fallout. Oh no. Oh jeez. This is my worst fear. Welcome to my channel. We're talking about the Cremated palette today. Now, who here is super excited for the Cremated palette? Mwah. I have been dying to do some gray, black, cool toned makeup. If you guys know, I love like subculture-y, like kind of muted shades. I don't really know how to explain that. Yeah, this palette I am so excited for. It is going to be very much loved in my collection. I am so excited for it. It sold out in 20 minutes and there were 4 lip glosses in the Creamated, and I am just so in dire need of getting my hands on it that I wanted to do a whole Creamated inspired look. I did get the Cremated palette and I did get the lip glosses, but you know, I am very much used to going into the Morphe store and picking it up and coming home with it and trying it on. And that has been the hardest part about this quarantine with me, is that I'm very much a person that shops in store, and when I buy something, I kind of want it like right then. So in order to feed my addiction of this cool toned looks that I've been seeing with everybody who has the Cremated palette already, I decided to go through my Jeffree Star collection. If you guys don't know, I did a whole video on my entire Jeffree Star collection, but I went through all of my Jeffree Star palettes and I picked out all of the gray tone shades that I thought were kind of similar to some shades in the Cremated palette. So if you guys didn't manage to pick up the Cremated palette this time around and you still want to do kind of like a gray toned look, I did swatches and everything for these palettes. So yeah, if you didn't get your hands on the Cremated palette and you're in the same spot as me and you're feeling very gray and you want to do some gray smoky eye look, this is the place to be. So getting into the Alien palette, I'm going to show you guys the shades first and then I'll show you the swatches. So out of the Alien palette, this was the first one that I kind of pulled out and I was like, oh, you know, there's some like gray tones in here, and I could have swatched this one, but it was a little bit too brown in my opinion. The thing that I'm most excited about for the Creamated palette is that the cool tone kind of green shades, I think those are freaking awesome, and I am beyond excited to receive my palette. I haven't even gotten a tracking number yet, so I'm eagerly and patiently waiting to get this beautiful palette in my hands. I'm not going to talk about the drama with this whole palette. We're going to keep this drama free. It's all makeup. We're just talking about makeup. But yeah, I swatched a few shades out of the Alien palette, and then the Conspiracy palette actually had a lot of decent shades in this palette that turned out pretty well. So like spiraling, sleep paralysis, my rides here. I mean, I could have even gotten just a theory. I thought it said trophy, and I was like, that was not the name of the palette, the shade. But I could have even used this one because I do believe there is a few shades that are kind of a interesting pinky cool toned champagne kind of color in the Creamated palette, but I'm just keeping it really gray, and then even like with Diet Cola. So definitely using these 2 palettes, and then I'm going to show you guys these but this is the Blue Blood palette, and with looking at this palette, Power, Creamated, Cullinan, those shades stood out to me to be kind of gray toned like when you're looking at this palette, but you'll see in my swatches they come out a lot more blue next to the other shades, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use this palette or not. And then as for Blood Sugar, kind of the same thing happened. So I was thinking of Glucose for a good white, and then O Positive looks to be a little gray, but when you see the swatches, it's a lot more mauve-y, mauve-y gray toned. So I'll show you guys the swatches. So starting off at my elbow and working up from the Alien palette, we have Ghost OG, Tall Gray, Black Hole, and then the Conspiracy palette, we have Ranch, Spiraling, Diet Cola, Sleep Paralysis, my rides here, and then Blue Blood, Power, Cremated, Cullinan, and then the Blood Sugar palette, O Positive, and Glucose. And you guys can see there's a lot of good shades that look pretty similar to the swatches that I've seen from the Cremated palette, and I'll put my swatches of these palettes and the Creamated swatches right next to each other so you guys can see they are kind of similar. And I'm ready to do like a gray smoky eye. I'm super excited to do this video. So now that I got all the swatches and whatnot out of the way, I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer, and I'm gonna zoom you guys in and we're gonna get into this very pretty smoky gray toned look. All right, getting right into this, I'm gonna first take the Blood Sugar palette and I'm gonna take the shade O Positive, and I'm gonna use this as like a transition shade, even though it's kind of off of tone that I'm looking for. I feel like once I blend in the other shades, it'll be okay. Yeah, this one's definitely more of a mauve, but you know, we're just gonna roll with it because I really don't want to put gray right into my crease. But yeah, I've been using the Anastasia Norvina Volume 4 palette, and I really enjoy that palette, but I'm still like wanting just to have the gray tones. Like, I did my 3 looks the other day and I was like, I want to do a gray toned look so badly. All right, now that I got that transition on, I am gonna take the Alien palette and the shade Tall Gray. And the mirror situation is really weird with this palette, but we're just gonna roll with it. And with this one, I'm gonna slowly start building it up, starting in my outer corner, and then I'm gonna put it into my crease. But I really want to be careful because I don't want this to look too dark. Man, do I miss using... I feel like every time a Jeffree Star palette comes out, I'm like so obsessed with it that like I kind of forget about my other palettes. So I'm really glad that I'm doing this video because it kind of lets me play with my older palettes by Jeffree Star a little bit more, give them the love that they deserve. I was actually quite shocked that these palettes had so many grays in it, because I was like, whenever the Cremated palette was like revealed, I was like, oh, I don't really have a lot of grays in my collection. This would be a nice like add-on in my Jeffree Star collection and in like my regular makeup collection. And then I started swatching all these and I was like, oh, he's actually done a decent amount of gray shadows in the past and I haven't really even recognized it. I am liking the direction that this look is going into. Now I'm gonna take Tall Gray again and I'm gonna blend it underneath my lower lash line and kind of like blending it into what I have going on this like little flick I got going on. That made no sense, I'm sorry. All right, now I'm gonna take the Conspiracy palette. I'm gonna take my Rides here. I like the formula of this black a little bit more than the one in the Alien palette. I can't really describe the difference. They're both black, but I feel like the formula is just a little bit easier to work with out of this palette. I feel like it's just a little easier to build it up, but I'm just gonna focus it on this outer corner and I'm lightly taking it into my crease. I'm only taking a little bit at a time. I don't want it to be totally black. I just want to deepen up the outer corner. Next, I'm going to take a little bit of my Rides here and I'm going to put it on just the outer corner of my lower lash line. And then I'm just going to go back in with a little bit of the Tall Gray and just help soften the edges a little bit. All right, now I'm going to take the Fenty Beauty Fly Pencil in a Bachelor Pad. This is a gray eyeliner and I'm just going to put it in my waterline. Wow, did that match perfectly. Now for the fun part. So I'm going to take this shade Spiraling out of the Conspiracy palette and I'm going to take it wet and I'm going to put it in the center of my lid, kind of following this crease I already did. I am so excited for the shimmers in the Cremated palette. I feel like they look so bomb in the swatches that I've seen. I'm like dying to put them on my eyes. There's a lot of things I'm dying to put on my eyes. And then I'm gonna take the shade Sleep Paralysis. And I'm gonna take this one wet as well. And I'm not gonna put it all the way in my inner corner, but I'm just kind of creating this like transition. And then out of the Conspiracy palette again, I'm taking Diet Cola, taking this one wet as well. And then this one is the one that's gonna go right smack dab in the inner corner. And then I'm gonna take Ranch out of the Conspiracy palette, and I'm gonna highlight my inner corner. All right, I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and I'm gonna show you guys the finished look. All right, and this is the finished cremated inspired look. I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. I haven't done like a darker smoky eye in a while, so this feels really nice. And then for my highlighter, I use the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Oil in Sandcastle. And for my lips, I use the Jeffree Star Liquid Lipstick in Celebrity Skin. And I put on the lip gloss in Ice Cold. So I'm feeling very cremated. I really like how this turned out. But let me know how you guys like this video, this little cremated inspired video. I think this is so cool. But that is it for this video. If you guys haven't seen my entire Jeffree Star collection video, I'll have that video right over here for you guys. And this video will be suggested to you by YouTube, and my face will be right here. Click on it and subscribe to my channel.